the greatest rivalry in this sport, Duke, Carolina. We all know what happened last year. Hubert Davis and the Tar Heels sent Coach K packing. They did it on Coach K's ceremony, and then they did it in the Final Four. We said the rivalry was over. We sat last year in New Orleans at a table and said, we don't know how Duke will ever recover from this moment. Enter John Shire, enter 2-0 in 2 games this season, and North Carolina on the wrong side of the bubble. New Orleans seems like it was a decade ago, not a year ago at this point. Jeff, how surprised are you that North Carolina didn't win this game?
Shocked. Shocked, but again, if you look back, all the signs are there all year. They had all these opportunities and they never won them, right? The only one they won was against Virginia. That's the only quad one they had all year. So honestly, every opportunity they've let slip by. So why did we think in the biggest game of the year, they would answer the bell? We shouldn't have. Caleb Love didn't play well again. Baycott was solid. They can't shoot the ball. They don't have shooters. Pete Nance didn't have enough cookies. Whatever it is, it's the same old story. They're not going to listen. Last March 5th was obviously something that will never happen again. They caught fire at the right time. They beat K on Coach K night, and everything flipped from there, right? They got that momentum. You cannot do that twice. And again, this team has been not quite as depressing to watch as it was the beginning of a year ago, but not that far off. Very little emotion, very little passion. I would honestly, Doster's Open had more passion than I've seen out of this Carolina team all year.
Here's the thing. They lack a level of, I think, leadership within the locker room, right? On that team, those players that are going to hold people accountable. And I remember we talked about this all through New Orleans. I can't remember how many times we mentioned this when we were sitting at the Gordon Beers, right? Brady Manick coming in and taking ownership of that team about midway through the season kind of changed things for them. We heard that from a lot of people around the team, right? He set a level of accountability. He had a level of ownership over that group. And I don't know who on this team does that. Like, I love Armando Baycott. He's a great guy, but he's not going to be someone
Baycott. It should be Baycott or
it
RJ
should be,
Davis.
but he just doesn't have the personality to get up there and cuss Caleb Love out when Caleb Love needs to get cussed out. He is not there to be like, Leaky,
but
you're not a shooter. Why are you taking
wait.
Took the most shots on this team? Leaky Black today. Like, someone needs to be like, that's not what we do. What are we doing?
This is on Hubert Davis. This is not on the players to have to coach Caleb Love. This is on Hubert Davis to honestly, if he's got to actually drop a profanity, drop a profanity, because you've got to figure out a way to do something different to light a fire under the asses of these guys. And it never happened. And honestly, Hubert needs to take more accountability for this. He does.
Let me ask you this, though, Jeff. Let me ask you this, though, because when we say Hubert needs to coach Caleb Love, it's on him. Yeah. What's different about Caleb Love's play other than making shots in the run last year than now? He's just missing the shots, right? Like, there's nothing
they're
remarkably
bad
different.
Shots this year.
They were bad shots last year.
Yeah, they were bad shots last year. They just
but it wasn't the same level. Like, they were coming out of like get the ball inside and come out. It wasn't just like the first side come down, fire up a three, right? There was a little bit more flow to the offense. We're getting a little bit more ball screen stuff. Like this year, it's very much just kind of like my turn kind of a deal. And I do think, yes, it's on the coach, but every team has to have that kind of a leader, that presence, right? Someone on that team.
I don't think so.
I think, honestly, I think the criticism belongs to everybody all the way down. I don't think Hubert's done a great job. I think that there's no leadership on the team, which maybe isn't a knock on the players, but it just kind of is what it is, right? You don't have
a lot
that
of
voice,
teams without leadership among players these days. And when that happens, who has to step up? The coach.
Mm-hmm. All right. Can we talk about Duke though? Because we got to give Duke their flowers here. They have now won, what is it, 6 in a row?
Wait. Before we get to Duke, no, we have to set up what Carolina might have to do in order to get into the NCAA tournament. Like that's a real question right now, because the ACC bracket came out. They're the number 7 seed. They start off with the winner of Boston College and Louisville. You would like to think they'll get that one. Right. They got to get that one, obviously. And then if they beat Virginia a second time this year, are they back in the first 4 conversation?
In the conversation,
they got to get one more. You got to beat Virginia, get one more.
I think you need 3 to be safe, to be firmly in. I think you need 3.
Well, to be honest, that's the harder one, and they've already beaten Virginia, and then they would get probably NC State or Virginia Tech. Yeah, I mean, it's doable. I'm not betting on them because at this point I've given up on betting on North Carolina.
Here's the problem with that, though. Here's the problem with it is that how much do those wins actually do? Is beating Virginia really going to change your mind on them?
For the committee, it will because it'll help their numbers. Sure. You get 3 wins.
Because the other thing you got to remember is there's going to be a lot of bubble teams that are playing a lot of games, and everybody else is going to have opportunities to pad their resume as well.
No, I get it, but we're saying that they win 3 games, and again, probably won't happen. But we're assuming they win 3 games here. If they win 3 games, to me, they are playing in Dayton.
Yep, and losing the final. Yeah, you're probably right.
I agree.
I think that they got to get the 3.
I actually think it hurts them that they don't have Miami or Duke on their side of the draw because I think they need that opportunity. You can say the draw is easier for them, but it doesn't really mean anything. They need that marquee win. Maybe they'll get it. Maybe they won't.
Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.